Welcome back for another book talk video. It's Tuber Tuesday, and I'm super excited to do my book battle for my May 2021 reading wrap up. I managed to read 9 books this month. It was such a busy month, closing out the school year as a teacher, a lot to deal with. It was a stressful month, but I'm happy to say I still managed to get in 9 books, especially with some of them being huge books, those Wheel of Time books. This month I managed to read the Emotion Thesaurus, which is a great reference book. It's very helpful for writers, but I am going to remove it from the competition for the book battle because I don't think that it would win against any of the 8 books that I read in addition to it, and that gives me a nice even number of 8, which allows me to form 2 brackets of 4. So the other 8 books that I read this month, the 8 that will actually be in the book battle, are the Atlanta Incursion, Benediction for a Thief, Day Zero, The Twin Paradox, The Wheel of Time Book 3, The Wheel of Time Book 4, The Wheel of Time Book 5, and The Keening, which is historical fiction. That allows me to create a bracket of science fiction and crime with those first 4, Atlanta Incursion, Benediction for a Thief, Day Zero, and Twin Paradox, and then a bracket for fantasy and historical fiction, which will have the Wheel of Time books up against Margaret Pennard's book, The Keening, which is very exciting to think about. In fact, let's go ahead and do that bracket first. Fantasy and historical. Wheel of Time Book 3 will be paired up against Wheel of Time Book 4, while Wheel of Time Book 5 will be paired up against The Keening. Let's do that pairing of the Wheel of Time Book 3 against the Wheel of Time Book 4. Both of these books were a great improvement over the Wheel of Time Books 1 and 2. I personally enjoyed Book 3 more than Book 4 because of the fact that it focused on the other characters more than Rand al'Thor, gave me a chance to get to know them better, and I felt like it advanced the supposed werewolf plot more. So I'm gonna go with the Wheel of Time Book 3 winning that pairing. The other pairing in this bracket is the Wheel of Time Book 5 up against the Keening. The Wheel of Time Book 5 to me does have some pacing issues. I enjoyed what's going on with the Aes Sedai organization, all the betrayal, people on the run, not being sure who to trust, but more so I enjoyed the story of the Scottish family in the Keening with the difficulties that they found going from Scotland to New Scotland, Nova Scotia. So good news for Margaret Pennard's book, The Keening. It's gonna win this match. That then puts us in a semifinals match for this bracket. Semifinals match for the overall tournament today. But for this bracket, we've got the Wheel of Time Book 3 up against the Keening. It's epic fantasy with a ton of characters on quests and journeys trying to deal with good versus evil against the very realistic historical fiction with the Keening of a family in poverty trying to survive when the rich nobles just throw them aside, cast them out, and they have to completely figure out a new way of life. I'm going to give this one to the more realistic story, the historical fiction, The Keening. Congratulations, The Keening. You're winning this bracket. Now we need to go take a look at that other bracket, though. Science fiction and crime. The Atlanta Incursion is science fiction. It's the sequel to The Thing in the Woods. Really exciting literature from Matthew W. Quinn, who I could tell from Twitter this month was having some great sales thanks to BookBub and the special that he was running with the book on there. So if you haven't picked it up yet, it might still be on sale. I'm not sure. But the Atlanta Incursion against Benediction for a Thief, which is a really fun, funny crime, private eye, druggy kind of novel. And this one is a tough choice. Both of them have fun characters. I think overall, even though I really enjoy the writing of Matthew W. Quinn, I'm going to give this one to Benediction for a Thief. It's going to win this battle because the character in that one made me laugh so much. He's blasphemous. He's ignorant. He's just wild and crazy. fantasy, and he just keeps getting into more trouble. So I would say in spite of himself, but sometimes because of himself. So Benediction for a Thief is advancing. Our other battle in this bracket is Robert C. Cargill's Day Zero, which is the sequel to Sea of Rust, up against the Twin Paradox. The Twin Paradox was one of the most bizarre, creative, unique novels I've ever seen. And I like bizarre, weird things, but quite frankly, I think it might have gone a little too far in being that bizarre. The cloning of historical people was interesting, but the weird temporal things and wormholes were hard to follow and understand. Both of them are interesting science fiction, but at the end of the day, I'm going to give this battle to Day Zero because the story of a nanny robot having to pick between the AI robot revolution, fellow machines, or the little boy that he's protected all his life made for such a great story. And there's great action in there too as they try to survive. It's also got the cool Calvin and Hobbes resemblance with the little boy and the tiger nanny robot. Alright, that means we've got Benediction for a Thief up against Day Zero in this semifinal section. And I'm gonna just say that I enjoyed Day Zero more. Both of them made me laugh. Both of them were pretty insane when you stop and think about it, but Day Zero was really well written, well crafted, and overall to me a better, more interesting story. So Day Zero, you're advancing to the finals. And today's finals round is Day Zero representing science fiction and crime against the Keening representing fantasy and historical fiction, which is really science fiction of Day Zero against historical fiction of the Keening. And I love both of these books. Interesting characters, interesting stories. I'm going to give it to Day Zero though. Day Zero is my best read of the month. Robert C. Cargill did something I did not think possible, and that is he provided a prequel to the Sea of Rust in which I already knew a summary of the day's events and the historical aspect of it based on the fact I'd read a book set in its future, but he made it really good and entertaining, and unexpected things still happen. So congratulations, Day Zero. You are my May read, best read of the month. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the book battle today. Every day's a great day for a book battle and a good day for a book talk. Peace.